Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a talk with me before I continued with studying for my exams. I wanted to kind of do a I'm gonna title this video Life is a Dream. And it was something that I was thinking about today. And I really love this channel because I don't really have any friends who I really text or talk to on an everyday basis. I don't have any guy friends. I don't believe in having guy friends. I used to have a small amount, like maybe one guy friend or something like that of the sort. But I think my idea behind that, to add some context, in my situation with a guy friend, they were never truly my friend. And I think I wanted this video to be a kind of chat with me. I did want to talk about some things that I'm going to put in my book, as well as I know, and I had chatted about in one of my videos, I am going to be doing videos on specific topics, but I do also want to make videos that are not necessarily on one topic and are just honestly just me speaking about my thoughts. Because with me touching on the guy friends, I feel like people who understand. Sometimes with guy friends, in my experience, they never were my friend. I think that with male and female friendships, it can truly work. And for people who do have guy friends, I'm truly so happy for you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm so happy for that. I'm not against it, but I'm saying that in my choice, that's not something that I have at all anymore, because it's not something that I'm experiencing on a real level, or I have experienced yet, where the person is a true friend. And I feel that if you understand what I'm saying, good. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, that's okay too, because everyone's different, everyone's walking a different path. And I kind of wanted to make this video sharing three concepts: life is a dream, perspective, and I wanted to kind of share a few things that I left out in my testimony as well, of my testimony with how I essentially rediscovered God and rediscovered and solidified my relationship with God, and also how I really came about in feeling emotionally in tune with myself in a cohesive manner. My testimony is probably one of my favorite videos on my channel. I was so afraid to film it. It is my testimony with God and my journey with self-harm and my recovery with it. And I was deeply ashamed and embarrassed, and I felt really low about my experience, and it was really hard for me to film the video and to talk about my experience. But at the same time, I think there is something truly so beautiful about the bravery of storytelling and the bravery of writing a book. And my point in making this video is to basically have someone to kind of talk to, because like I said, I have hangout friends, but as in people that I text or even have conversations like this, even call, like I really only call family members, honestly. And that's just the truth of it. I think I'm very content with that. I'm not a person who necessarily craves to have an excessive amount of friends. I believe in quality over quantity. If I don't like someone, if I don't support what they stand for, I don't speak to them, I don't engage with them, I'm not their friend. Even when it comes to my socials, if I don't want someone following me, I will politely remove them. I'm highly against monitoring spirits. I think if you don't like someone and you're genuinely not happy for them, that you should not consume their content or really pay attention to what they're doing so heavily. I think with the internet as a whole, I think some people need to take a look in the mirror and really think about what they're doing and really be mindful about the comments. I mean, I've touched on this in a few videos, but comments are just, they make me so anxious, comment sections, because some people are genuinely bullies. And if you understand the psychology of a bully, obviously on an empathetic level, you empathize with the person and understand that obviously there's something wrong internally, but at the same time, it does not make that okay to treat someone like that or to treat someone less than or to bully people. I think that's really disgusting. I think it's really sad. And I know that I would never bully anyone because I know what that feels like. And to touch on some of the events that I am going to talk about in my books is along with me being thrown in the trash can in ninth grade, and this is a part of my testimony, but along with me being thrown in the trash can and a lot of other situations that were honestly very dehumanizing for me and genuinely humiliating. I think the year that I first indulged in self as age, I had a lot of humiliating moments that made me very sad. I'm gonna go over a few. I fell down six flights of bleachers, I think. That was pretty bad in front of a lot of people. I was hit in the stomach with a basketball. I was thrown in the face with it, like my glasses were thrown off. I remember in this situation, and this is all in sixth grade, and I, there was that. I did not even want to go back to class. I actually went home after that. I was so humiliated. There was a really sweet girl that I was classmates with. She sat in there with me. I was so humiliated, and I felt really just like I did not belong. And where is I going with that on my list? Another thing, I had dirt thrown in my hair, and I also broke my wrist. I was swinging on the swings, and I was with a friend. I was trying to be cool and jump off the swing, but I actually fell about maybe over 8 feet in the air, and I landed back on the ground on my body, and I actually broke my wrist, and so many people saw it. And as well as that, I had a ton of humiliating moments in middle school, and I think it led up to that. And obviously in my testimony video, I did kind of want to touch on the high school aspect of it and my college experience so far, but I think my feeling of I don't belong here, I still am kind of working on that. But also, I've had a lot of growth, but there's a lot of areas where there's still work to do. And I think inside of myself, I hold myself accountable in such a honest and raw way. It's very easy for me to to say that it's very easy for me to apologize and to empathize, and I know that in life I found that even when growing up, I think people who know me and people who have had talks with me with some constructive criticism towards this, I had some severe people pleasing tendencies, and a specific area of this was my ability to say no. I had a lot of times where I was afraid to say no. I was honestly just really scared and anxious at such a young age. And although I'm truly okay with being alone, the type of loneliness that I started to develop was a sense of I don't belong here, and almost like I did not feel like a person anymore. It was like me right here and me right here, and there was a divide. And I would say that with friendships, as I previously said in this video, for me to end a friendship or a relationship, majority of the time I did give a person multiple chances, and I am deeply empathetic. I know that people make mistakes, but to a certain extent. I think when experiencing people who truly care about you and who truly love you, you kind of realize that when people are truly mindful of you, all it takes is one time. All it takes is one time, and they will truly pay attention to what makes you feel comfortable and what honestly just helping you grow as a person, and they will continue to grow as a person, and it'll be a really cohesive and beautiful thing. But in friendships, I dealt with a lot of gaslighting and shame towards me protecting my peace and leaving friendships that either did not align with me, I did not want, or I did not see a positive future in. I don't believe in gossiping. I don't believe in drama. I don't believe in the mean girl complex, the superiority complex, whole surrounding idea that things had to be of a certain nature for things to be. And I was called a mean girl. I've been called a lot of things for protecting my peace and for doing what's best for me, because I know that in my actions it was for the best and it was to protect my peace. And throughout various situations, I with ladies and men, I dealt with a lot of negative experiences, and with the feelings of worthlessness, it stemmed from the idea that these things were occurring to me because I was not enough. And what I know now, that is, you can be the most perfect person to someone and they still can mistreat you or be a horrible friend to you. And I know that now, and I kind of do want to touch on my life is a dream. Life is a dream. What I mean by that is everything from the phone that I'm recording on. And to kind of give a starting sentence for this concept, when I film this video, when I wake up tomorrow, I cannot go back to this day. And I think that's why videography and recording is such a beautiful thing, because I have on tape something that existed today but will not exist tomorrow because it is in my past. And everything from the building that I'm in to the phone that I'm on to the plastic to the phone cases. Everything is made by humans. The rent that we pay, the taxes that we pay, the politics, basically the entirety of our society. And the reason why I wanted to touch on that is because with a society like that, I think it's really important to emphasize mindfulness and grounding ourselves in activities that are rooted in nature, rooted in love, rooted in kindness, rooted in self-growth, and rooted in real-time experiences. And a continuation of real time, I'll also add that it should be a genuine experience, genuine life. I truly believe that there are more species in the world than us. I have a growth mindset, I have an open mind, and I believe that aliens are real wholeheartedly. I know that when in furthering my career, I hope that I have the tools and the brain and the ability to help someone. I have kind of touched on this in a few videos. I love psychology, and I know that sustaining financial stability is important, but I know the reason as to why I would love to work in healthcare and to help is because I genuinely want to help. It's not for just monetary gain or for money. And I think that with teachers and law enforcement and a variation of different jobs, I think that obviously there is good and bad in every field, but I think that respect is a big deal. And I think that when people are holding you accountable, it is important to receive that and to not receive it as a threat. And more importantly, to acknowledge how you are feeling instead of pushing it away. I think my entire life, especially from elementary school, I have always journaled. I journal every day. I love to write so much. And my intentions with this video is to kind of just be a little talk with me and say that in my message of life is a dream, when life is a dream, anything is possible. And in our solar system, in our galaxy, I don't think that we're the only life out there. I know that there is somewhere else. I think that every creature is so beautiful, and I don't think that anyone is ugly. And when I thought myself that I was ugly, I was actually projecting judgment onto myself. I was judging a perception of what society has put onto us as what is beautiful and what is not. But I know that in my heart, I don't believe anything is ugly in terms of physicality. Obviously, we all have preferences. We all maybe have a type, and if you don't have a type, that's okay too. But I know for me, I do have preferences, but I don't have a type. And when you understand the difference, a preference is, to put in short terms, a preference is something that you like, but it doesn't necessarily stop you from giving something that is different a chance, if that makes sense. And I think for me, when it comes to relationships with people, I just want to be the best person that I can to people, and I would encourage that with everyone, I think it's really important to prioritize your self-respect. I think for me, I have definitely had to also learn when to draw the line. There was a situation where I was actually dragged out of a car. My belongings were thrown out of the car because I refused to sleep with a guy, and it was pretty awful. This was someone who used to be my friend and is not my friend anymore, and I want nothing to do with them. And it is not just because of that experience that kind of drew the line for me, but I've had some awful friends in the past, and I think some awful people come into my life, and although I do truly wish them the best, I don't want to speak to them. And that's because I have learned that when you are not firm within your boundaries, people will not, there will be a divide. When you are not strong in your boundaries, I feel in some ways that is betraying yourself. And for me, I felt that way too. And along with that, I think that I just want to continue to learn. As a young girl, I always went to the library. That's actually my favorite place, the library. That's my favorite place. Barnes and Noble specifically. And I love knowledge. And I've touched on this before. I touched on this in my mukbang with Frankenstein. I thought it was so beautiful that they emphasized this in the film with how people react to things that look different. Genuinely. It was really important to see that for me. I know that when I do things, I don't want to just throw out things for monetary gain or just because. I want things that I do to be of substance and to represent me. And while privacy is good, openness is beautiful as well. And I think that with sharing your story and sharing your experiences, I hope that nobody ever regrets that. And I know that even with songwriting, I have a lot of songs written, and I do want to pursue creating music. I've been working on a lot of songs for years actually, and I do plan on going on that journey, honestly. I think it would be really beautiful. Writing is something that has a lot of depth with me, and it really resonates with my heart and who I am as a person. And I think that with this YouTube channel, kind of going back on me really having no one to talk to, it's really nice because this kind of feels like a FaceTime call a little bit, but I don't have anyone to call. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I'm at a stage in life where I really don't have friends. I really have not ever had a bunch of friends. And I know what a real friendship is. So that's another reason why I'm saying that. Acquaintances are acquaintances, but friends are friends. And I know that especially for me, some people that I have not heard from or anything like that, I know that they let's say like they consume my content and things of that nature, but they don't reach out. And I reached out to these people multiple times. I bent my back for them. I did a lot, and at one point I just stopped. And when I finally decided to stop, I never went back, honestly. I never went back because I know that with people contact who they want to contact. People go hard for people that they want to go hard for. And I think that's a really good thing to touch on, even with relationships. Being 19, I obviously have a lot to learn, and I am not one of those teenagers that think that they know everything. I've never been that kind of person, and I feel like with the entirety of it, you know you the best. And if someone is projecting a version of you that they see inside of their mind, and you know that that is not who you are, don't don't let it go. Don't let it go to your head. Don't let it affect you, because with some people, they only listen to project, they only listen to defend, they only listen to react, but they don't listen to comprehend, they don't listen to have compassion, they don't listen to understand, they don't listen to respond. Sometimes they don't. And just being here for 19 years, being on earth, I've realized that there are some truly good people in the world, and there are some truly bad people in the world. And I know that with, I would say, the invention of even social media, I think that it's really beautiful to engage with people, but it's really destructive to overconsume. And I think that with, I would say, when I got social media was, I got social media when I was maybe 14. And I'm touching on this because I think that when you are of an age of adolescence, I think it's really important to figure out who you are outside of social media before you get on those platforms. Does that make sense? Because you can have a lot of things that inspire you and change your life and motivate you and that are so good, but I think it's really important to not believe everything you see on the internet, and have a strong backbone and have a strong sense of understanding of who you are. And I think with me, in terms of me going to private school and just the people that I was surrounded with, there was such a divide. I never fit in, which is okay, but I just want to acknowledge that just as a whole, I never fit in, and that was okay. And for a period of my life, I felt so alone and like I really had no place. But it's okay to be different. It's okay to have a different path. It's okay. And just genuinely, I know that for me, someone who's dealt with bullying and harassment and assault and a variation of things, some things I'm going to touch on in my book, but a lot of things. And I think that with me dealing with those things, with bullying, whether that's in person, right in my face, just being called horrific things to my face, or online, or with ladies, or with guys, because I feel like this is not talked about enough. When you are a lady who is okay with being single or not looking for a boyfriend, a lot of guys actually get mad. Some people, I know that with, I know that with, I would say from the ego, I would say, I think that with men who get bad at rejection, I think that's where that stems from. And I know that it's important to say that just because someone does not want to be with you, that's not rejection. It's redirection. It's just a sign of it's not meant for you. And I've had some really bad experiences with that. And I think a lot of other ladies have too. And I'm really sorry about that. And I wish that things would be better. I really do. And I really hope that in my career everything falls into place and I prepare in all the ways that I need to. I don't believe in chasing dreams. I believe in preparing for dreams, preparing for your goals, preparing. I like the use of the word preparing and building rather than chasing. I think that's with relationships too. I have not been the person that indulges in a lot of relationships. I'm very selective with that. I'm extremely selective with people because quality over quantity. And I know that's something that I am okay with. I'm okay with. But at the same time, with ladies who like to date around or like to be with a lot of guys or things of that nature, I've never judged them or thought anything of a negative manner towards them. It's just people are different and people make decisions. People make decisions. People are different, people make different decisions. Everyone's different, and I think that with life, that life is just life. And I think I'm gonna put a few final messages in this video. It's kind of a bit of all over the place, but it's kind of alright. I just felt like picking up the camera and filming before I continued studying to honestly just talk. And yeah, I feel that with my experiences, I hope that with my experiences, me having a warm heart and an open perspective, and me having just the voice to voice my experiences, I hope that people who are hurting heal. And healing is not linear. Relapses happen. But I will say progress is progress. And to focus on being proud of yourself with your progress. And I know that with people that are hurting, it is not an excuse to mistreat people or to abuse people. And while I do understand that some people are going through really dark times and really going through hardships, I would encourage that you would choose not to abuse or hurt or do any wrongdoings to anyone else for the sake of yourself, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And with my closing statements, I just want to continue to grow in this life, and I do want peace, and I do work towards evolving every day. Learning something new every day, and just genuinely taking it day by day. When you get up and you try, know that that is an accomplishment in itself, because some people never try. Trying is a beautiful thing. Effort is a beautiful thing. We are not perfect beings, but a trying human, a human that puts effort into things, is everything. It matters a lot. It matters a lot. And for this week, I hope that I make it through the week alive. I am excited I finished my brainstorming list for my Vlogmas, and I'm excited to film that. And I know that it's not about anything materialistic for me. It's about what's in me, not what's on me. And my heart is all that matters to me. I can lose everything that I have, and I'd be okay with that, because I still have my heart. And from the bottom of my heart, I truly mean that. And with my video, I kind of just wanted to, I guess it is kind of considered a yap session, but I did kind of want to vocalize some thoughts, just talk about some thoughts. And I hope that with everyone who watches this video, take something positive away from this, and know that I'm rooting for you and your journey and your goals and whatever you would like to do. And and I hope that my dream, I hope that I get to help, encourage, and inspire. So, with that being said, I am going to be ending this video and say that I hope that each and every one of you guys has an amazing day, and find that one thing in your day that's good. And if you have nothing to look forward to that. And even if you have nothing, if you have your legs or just one of your eyes, I hope that you appreciate that, because some things that you have, other people would really like just give everything for. There's always going to be someone that's maybe smarter or better than you, or things of that nature. But it's important to focus on your journey and to water your grass and to try every day. And progress is not perfection, but progress is purposeful. It's very, very purposeful. But yes, guys, I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you guys enjoy your day. And I think I'm just gonna post this video as it is. I don't think I'm gonna edit it or anything. And I'm gonna study for my exams. I have an adolescent psychology exam and a sociology exam, and I'm so excited for American literature. When I tell you, my professor is literally amazing. I love all of her teachings. I really, really love learning about American Romanticism and American literature. I'm so grateful, but I'm going to be cutting this off and working on studying and working on my book. And I'm going to wish you all a good week. And I definitely will be creating more videos this week because I really like making videos. And yes, guys, I'm going to be turning this all off, but toodaloo.